Hi everyone, I'm Gina from Gina K Designs and your host of Stamp TV, and I'd like to welcome you to tonight's release party presentation. Tonight I'm going to show you many beautiful stamp sets and stamp and die bundles along with a brand new Stamp TV kit. At any time during the video, feel free to pause and visit our release party forum at stamptv.com, where you can play along with our contest questions, our release party challenge, and visit the party chat thread where our design team has beautiful projects made especially for you, featuring the brand new stamp sets being released tonight. So without further ado, let me show you our brand new stamp sets. The first set I want to show you is a great set by Melanie Menchinger, and this stamp set is 6 years in the making. This stamp set is called Women of Faith, and it's not only perfect for all kinds of beautiful and encouraging card projects, but it's great for Bible journaling, scrapbooking, and all kinds of different stamping techniques. The next set I want to show you is a brand new one by Emily Schrepfer. This stamp set is called Anemone Wishes. It contains beautiful, bold anemone flowers that can be colored with Copic markers, colored pencils, and watercolor, and then you can stamp the centers of the flowers inside. It's also filled with leaves and other greenery to complete your bouquets. Emily is a fantastic hand letterer, and she hand lettered all of these beautiful greetings. This set is perfect for all kinds of beautiful card making projects, and it comes complete with a full set of dies, so you can cut out all the beautiful flowers and greenery. Next I want to show you a brand new stamp set by a new illustrator, Hannah Schrepfer. Now many of you know Hannah as one of the sweet voices of our customer service department, but she's also a fabulous artist. This stamp set is called Sending You a Llama Love. It's got 2 fun llamas in it and all kinds of fun little ways to decorate those llamas. It also has some beautiful floral images that are perfect for coloring. This set makes fun cards for all ages, and llamas are so on trend. This set also comes with a full set of dies, so you can cut out the llamas, cut out the flowers, and their little embellishments. The next set designed by Hannah Schrepfer is this cute cactus set called Stuck on You. This set contains bold cactus images that are perfect for coloring with Copics, colored pencils, and watercolor. And this set also has some really cute greetings like cacti plus cactu equals cactus. I just love that cactus math. And it has cute little greetings like have a succulent birthday, stuck on you, and life would suck without you. This set also comes with a full set of dies so that you can cut out all of the images in this set. Next I want to show you our brand new incentive set. Let me zoom in a little bit on this one so that you can see it up close. This one is called Wealth of Wishes, and it does have a wealth of greetings in here. I love the fun fonts that this was designed with. You've got greetings that say, everything's better with you, wishing you a lifetime of love, have a blooming good birthday, you are the sunshine of my life, you make my heart bloom, and may your day be as bright as your smile. And this set was designed to coordinate with the brand new Stamp TV kit, which I'm going to show you in a little bit. But these greetings are perfect for all kinds of card projects, and it'll be one that will never leave your stamping desk. The next thing I want to show you are some brand new background stamps. The first one is this beautiful stamp set, this beautiful background stamp called Rose Lace. And it's very hard to see the detail in this, so I'm going to show it to you stamped. But this is a beautiful rose lace pattern. This is a 6x6 background stamp, and it is mounted on cling cushion, so it will stick to an acrylic block, it will stick to the door of your MISTI or any other type of tool that you want to use to stamp this with, like a Fiskars press, anything like that. It needs to be big and bold. But the way I stamp them is I just remove the back protective sheet and I put them right onto my mat and I stamp upside down, which I'm going to show you in my project video tonight. Let me show you a sample of what this looks like when it's stamped. I stamped this with Versamark ink on red cardstock. This is on the red velvet cardstock, and then I embossed it in white. And you can see all of that beautiful detail in there. Now these lace flowers are open images, so you can watercolor them if you want, or you can color them with pencils or Copics, but they also look beautiful embossed or just stamped in color. So that's the rose lace background stamp. We also have a background stamp called Gauze, and I'll be using gauze in my project tonight as well. This actually looks like gauze fabric, and I'll show it to you stamped. Here I stamped it on a darker on a piece of white cardstock with a darker ink so you can see more of the detail. It's very patchy, and it actually looks like gauze fabric. So this is a beautiful, subtle background for all kinds of card projects where you want a little bit of texture, but you really don't want something too busy. This is also great for the kissing technique, which I'm going to show you in tonight's video. Then we have the diagonal stripe. I love this one. The diagonal stripe in this one has a thick stripe and then two little thin stripes. And you can use this as a diagonal to do things like a candy cane background or any kind of just plain diagonal stripe. Very nice for masculine cards and very elegant. But if you crisscross it with two different colors, you can create a fun plaid, and I'll be showing that to you in another video in the near future. The last background stamp I'm going to show you is the Petite Flourish, and this one is actually a design that I did for our Foil Mates line. This is from the Boutique Foil Mates, the Gina K ones, and a lot of you had said that you loved it so much that you wish that you had had it in a background stamp. So I shrunk it down a little bit and to put it on this background, and I'm going to use this in my project tonight too. So I'm going to show you the sample a little bit later for this one. And now it's time to show you the brand new Stamp TV kit. Here it is. I'm going to back up a little bit because there is a lot in here. So this Stamp TV kit is called Sunshine and Love. And let me show you what's inside. First, like all of our kits, it comes in a convenient plastic storage box so you can keep all the pieces of your kit together, and you can stamp along with me and my design team as you see projects featured on Facebook, in our Stamp TV gallery, and on our YouTube channels. Then you get 24 sheets of cardstock, and the colors that you're going to get are Coral Reef. You know we have to put some of the, new ones in here. Sea Glass, love Sea Glass. You're going to get some Layering Weight White. You're going to get Jelly Bean Green, Wild Dandelion, some Heavy Base Weight White, some of our Black Onyx, and some of the Tranquil Teal. Then along with these colors, you're going to get two bold stamp sets. And let me show you what they look like. So I'll put the white here. The first stamp set you're going to get is the Layered Daisies. And this one is really fun. It's got this big leafy image that you can do all kinds of fun background techniques with. And then it's got some three-step daisies. So you can stamp the solid image in a light color, and you can stamp this part of the image in a darker color, and then you can fill in the center with any color you want, or you can even do some embossing with that. It's got leaves here that are bold that you can do other stamping techniques like kissing and thumping and all kinds of things. And then it's got a three-step smaller flower that you can stamp together with the stem. It's got some fun greetings in here. They're actually very beautiful. And then it's got this little flourish that you can use underneath your flowers, coming out from behind, die-cut flowers. And it can also be used in lots of other stamp sets and for backgrounds. So that is the Layered Daisy set. This is a 6x8 stamp set, so it's very big. The other stamp set in this kit is the Rose Peony. Now this one is going to be perfect for all kinds of coloring techniques and embossing. You can do watercolor with this, Copic markers, colored pencils, and Gamsol. And then it's got these two little viney sprigs that can be used for emboss resist and fun background techniques. It's also got this splatter stamp, which is a real fun one and great to use not just for backgrounds, but for accenting around the outside of the flower. So you can mask off a flower and then stamp that splatter around it, and it will just enhance and bring out the flower. This stamp set also has some good greetings that you might not have in your collection, like Happy Anniversary, Forever and Always, which is great for a wedding, Warm Wishes, Love the Fonts, Thank You, and Birthday Wishes. You also get a full sheet of dies. Now this is on one of the Stampin' Storage magnetic storage sheets, so it's easy to store. Our dies all come detabbed already, so you don't have to cut them apart. And this actually has 2 sets of dies on it. It has all the dies that will cut out the layered daisies, and it has all of the dies that will cut out the rose peonies. So you're going to be able to do fun techniques with this kit, and you're going to be able to cut the flowers out and do beautiful bouquets. So that is the contents of the new Stamp TV kit. I'm going to put this aside, and I'm going to get started on the first card project. For tonight's project, I'm going to use the gauze background stamp. I'm also going to use the Petite Flourish background stamp. I'm going to use the Layered Daisy stamp set, and I'm going to use some of the dies that coordinate with this stamp set. I'm also going to use my mini Misty. You can use your original Misty if you want. I decided to use the mini Misty because I actually have my original all packed up and ready to leave for a stamp show up in Novi, Michigan. I'm going to use some foam squares and some adhesive, and then for ink colors, I'm going to use some Peach Bellini, some Coral Reef, fresh asparagus, jelly bean green, and some black ink for the greeting. For cardstock colors, I'm going to use a Coral Reef card base, and I've cut that 4.5 inches by 11 inches, and I've scored it at 5.5 inches, so 4.25 by 11, scored at 5.5 and folded in half. And then I've also taken a piece of Peach Bellini cardstock out of my stash because I really like this color combination together. I'm also going to be using some black onyx. So to begin, I'm going to start with stamping the flower. So for 2-step stamping with the layered daisies, what I recommend is cut a bunch of little pieces of cardstock and make a whole bunch of flowers all at once. Because layering stamps take a little bit of time to position, and once you have them in perfect position, you might as well make a whole bunch. You can do them in different colors, and then you'll have them ready in your stash to cut and arrange. So I'm going to start with the large stamp, the large flower, and I'm going to pick that up with my Misty. And then I'm going to ink this one up with some of the Peach Bellini. Now when it comes to the lighter colors, sometimes I like to double stamp it just to really get it a little bit darker and deeper. And when it's new stamps, sometimes you have to stamp them a couple of times to get a good impression. But once you do, then it'll always be a great impression. Okay, so that's the first time I'm going to stamp it. I'm going to stamp it a second time because I want to deepen up that color. And there we go. So you can see how nice and deep that Peach Bellini color looks. Now I'm going to use the Tidy Towel to clean my stamp. I like using this stamp cleaner because it makes it easy to peel the stamps off of the Misty and not worry about getting your yourself all inky. Although I was playing with some green ink, so you can see I've got green ink on my fingers. Okay, so now I'm going to take the layering stamp that goes with this stamp, and I'm going to position this on top. And once you get it in the right position, it's a great time to mass produce. So I'm going to stamp that. And I'm going to use some Coral Reef. I'm going to ink that up real well and stamp. You can see how nice that looks, layered together. Then the last image I want to stamp is going to be the little center part of the flower, and I'm going to stamp that in the same color. I'm going to use the Coral Reef. Now you could use a brown or you could use another color. Black looks really cool, but it also looks really nice doing more of a tone-on-tone look. So I'm going to stamp that with the Coral Reef. And there we go. And you can see how nice this looks. Let me give you the close-up view. So there we go. Now once this dries, it's going to dry up a little bit lighter. And let me show you what it looks like when it's all cut out. You can see the difference once it's all dry. Not that it'll smear, it won't smear at all, but it will continue to dry until it dries up to the perfect color to match the cardstock. And I cut this one out using the die that coordinates from the kit. So let me show you the other ones that I stamped and cut out. I cut out this side daisy, so that's going to be part of my bouquet. I also stamped and cut out this daisy with the stem. So I've got all of those to arrange into my bouquet. So now the next thing that I want to do is I want to stamp my leaves. So I'm going to do that using this background stamp because I'm going to do the kissing technique. I'm going to zoom in a little bit here so that you can see exactly how this is going to look. Now I'm going to take one of the leaves from the set. I'm going to use this one here. And I'm going to put that onto an acrylic block. And then I'm going to take some of the fresh asparagus ink and I'm going to ink up a little bit of this gauze stamp. Then I'm going to ink up the stamp with jelly bean green. Now, if you wanted to stamp this plain, you can, and it'll give you a nice, beautiful jelly bean green image. But for this, I want to add some texture. So I'm going to stamp it with the jelly bean green. Then I'm going to kiss it onto the background stamp with the fresh asparagus. And now that's going to create a textured look on my leaves. Let me pull that close so that you can see that. So now you have textured leaves. Isn't that fun? The kissing technique is really fun to do. You can do it with all different kinds of background stamps. And then once you stamp all your leaves, you can take the tidy towel and you can just clean up that background stamp. And that is ready to be put away and used again later. Okay. So now, once these are stamped, you can cut them out using the dies, and they will look like that. And you can see once the color lightens up, it dries completely, you get a nice smooth image, and it's definitely matching our jelly bean green cardstock. All right, so I have a couple of those that I've pre-stamped and cut for my card, and I've got all of these flowers ready to go. So now I want to create some background paper. So I'm going to take the background stamp, the Petite Flourish background stamp, and I'm going to use some Peach Bellini for a tone-on-tone look. And then I have another piece of cardstock here that I'm going to use for on top. So I'm going to ink this up. Now these background stamps have these protective liners on them, and that keeps your cling in really good condition. So don't throw these away. You can take them off and use them. They'll stick right to your work surface. If you have one of these mats, it'll stick pretty well. It'll also stick to your MISTI. It'll stick to a big acrylic block. And then when you're done using it, put the protective cover back on because you want to make sure that that cling cushion stays clingy. Now, I don't even take the cushion off. I just lay the background stamp down on my desk and I just ink up the stamp while it's laying on its back. These are such big stamps that you've got plenty of surface room to work. And then I take the piece of cardstock and I lay the cardstock down right onto the stamp. And then I put another piece of cardstock on top and I just run my hands all over that background stamp. I feel like you can get great pressure this way without really having to put a lot of pressure on it. You get a nice complete image. Okay, and once that's done, you can use that piece of cardstock to pick it up and you can see I've got great coverage all over that stamp. Isn't that beautiful? It's such a delicate stamp and I love the tone-on-tone look. All right. So the next step is going to be to assemble this card. Now what I've done here is I have added the Hello Sunshine greeting to this oval. You can see that. And I'm going to arrange my flowers around the oval. And now I've already mounted the background stamp that I did earlier, so you can see how kind of soft that turned out. And then I'm going to adhere this whole panel on top of my coral reef. Now, if you wanted more color, you could go back and do that in coral reef. Let's see what that looks like, shall we? So I want to see if that is kind of a fun, vibrant look. So I'm going to ink this up with coral reef. And I'm going to use the other side of this piece of cardstock. I'm going to lay that down and then take my yellow sheet Tone on tone is fun, but this might bring out some of the coral from the flowers, so let's see how it looks. Oh yeah, that's really pretty. Let's go with that. So I'm just going to adhere that right on top of the piece that's already on there. I really like the way that looks. See, we're creating together. Okay, so I'm going to match that up. There we go. And then this whole panel is going to go on top of the coral reef. Isn't that beautiful? Love that. Okay, so now that we have that in place, I'm going to do a layout. So I think I'm going to have this a little bit off to the side, and then I'm going to start with this one. We'll put it more in the middle. This one down here, this one over here, and this one kind of coming up like that. And then we'll add these little leaves all around. So we can put one over here, we can put one over here, and then we can have one coming in like that. And I'm going to adhere those using both some Thermal Web Sticky Dot Runner and some foam squares. So let's take that off, and we'll start by laying the oval on there, and the oval is going to go directly onto the card. I'll put the oval right about there. And then again, laying out my daisies. Oh, I love that. It's so pretty. So let's adhere those with some of the foam squares. So I think for the big one, I'll use 3. And we'll have that one facing a little bit more in this direction. This one, I might use 3 for this one too. We'll see. No, 2 will probably do it. All right. We'll have that one facing more in the other direction, like that. And then this one will be kind of coming out from there. Let me see how it looks. Yeah. Get it coming out from there. So that one I think I'll just tape right down onto the oval. Okay, maybe I'll move that down just a little bit. There we go. And you can play with it as much as you want. Add a little tape back there. There we go. Okay, now for the leaves, we need one coming out from underneath this flower. So we'll put that there. And then we need one coming out from over here to fill in that white space. add that right there. And then this one will overlap the big flower a little bit, because that's what flowers do in nature. They're not perfectly, the leaves aren't all in the back and the flowers aren't all in the front. But I don't want it to overlap on my sunshine word, so let's move it a little bit. There we go. And there is my finished card project. Well, I hope you've enjoyed tonight's release party presentation. All of the products are now available in our online store at GinaKDesigns.com. Thanks so much for watching, and have a great evening.